Aloha, everybody. Happy Medical Cannabis Day 2023. Dr. Clifton Otto here, and it is my pleasure to give the welcome message for this year's virtual event. Here's my background, and here are my disclosures. The idea for Medical Cannabis Day originated back in the early part of 2019 when I was trying to come up with a way to raise awareness about the discrimination our patients are facing under federal law. I thought that if there can be a day that celebrates the illicit use of cannabis, then why can't we have a day that honors our lawfully registered medical cannabis patients? So I went back to Hawaii's Medical Use of Cannabis Act, and June 14 jumped out as the obvious choice, since this is the day that Governor Cayetano signed Hawaii's Medical Use of Cannabis bill into law. There are many purposes to Medical Cannabis Day. The one I've been focusing on recently is reharmonizing the state and federal regulation of cannabis, because the current dysregulation is responsible for all of our problems. Here's a short list of areas of discrimination that our patients are being subjected to. So, to raise awareness about Medical Cannabis Day, we created a logo and made t-shirts, received proclamations from the mayors and governor of Hawaii in the past, had flags flown over the nation's capital, the request of our congressional delegates, and provided free annual educational events. Each year, June 14 gives us another opportunity to hold the medical cannabis egg up to the light and see how things are developing. And I have to say, it is still very uncertain where all of this is heading. We're still waiting for folks to get over their obsession with the commercialization and commodification of cannabis so that we can get back to fulfilling the legacy and the destiny of cannabis as a compassion-based, patient-centered medicine. In 2021, every member of our state legislature agreed that the state needs to take action to end the federal situation with cannabis in Hawaii by unanimously adopting a solution in the form of a resolution that is sitting with the Hawaii Department of Health. I'm very grateful for this action by our legislature. In fact, we should all be thanking these lawmakers for their courage to stand up for our patients on this issue as best they could under the current political roadblock. Some say this measure is inconsequential because it was only an ask and not a mandate. I disagree. I believe this resolution is highly significant because it not only represents the first time that our entire legislature expressed its will to resolve this unacceptable situation, but I believe it also satisfies the duty of the legislature under the oath of office to stop the unconstitutional application of federal law to the rights of our lawfully registered patients and to the state's authority over the interstate use of cannabis, a duty that also extends to officials whose appointments are approved by the state Senate. Which brings us to the Hawaii Department of Health. After nearly 2 years, the department has revealed that it is not acting on HCR 132 because of advice it received from the Office of the Attorney General. Unfortunately, we cannot know if this advice was from the previous or the current AG because the department is claiming attorney-client privilege with this office. Our governor pledged before the election to address HCR 132 and the federal situation with cannabis, and is also referring this issue to the AG. So it looks like all roads lead to our new state attorney general, who has volunteered to conduct her own research on an adult use regulatory framework for Hawaii that will be presented to the legislature before the next legislative session. What a great opportunity to make sure our state doesn't continue to make the same mistake that all the other adult and medical use states have made, which is to avoid taking direct action to end the federal situation with cannabis. We also have a newly created Office of Wellness and Resilience, which has volunteered to convene its own psilocybin working group after a psilocybin bill failed to make it through conference this last session. Perhaps this office is also willing to consider solutions for the trauma that our patients are experiencing from having to violate federal law to participate in a state program. Which brings us back to we the people. This is our government. If we don't start acting like it's ours in a peaceful fashion, then we will continue to be left out of the discussion and the solution. And with that, I welcome you all to Medical Cannabis Day 2023. A special thanks to this year's sponsors, and especially Patients First and Hawaii Patients Union whose hard work and dedication are keeping Medical Cannabis Day alive. I hope you all have a great day. Please be safe out there and take care of each other. Aloha.